Well, there's a variety of different marks in this one, and if you're fans of, say, the Porsche, well, you can see the German flag to the right-hand side of your screen there. Jimmy Richards driving a Porsche. Mark Noski, the Italian flag beside him, he's in a Ferrari.
Then Peter Fitzgerald, Christian Jones, Paul Stokel, Jeff Morgan, the first of the Vipers in the Monster.com car from Wayne Park in the Poolride Ferrari. Further back in the field, John Tulin back in the Nissan Skyline as well.
Yeah, we should welcome back the Queenslander. It's great to have him with us. Terry Finnegan had dramas in the Z8 in race 1. We'll see how he goes in race 2. Richo on pole. The sun is setting here. It's late in the afternoon at Sydney's Oran Park Raceway. And problems. That's Peter Fitzgerald coming into the pits. What's gone wrong there?
Lost first and second gear, we believe. He's going to do a rolling start so he doesn't bog down off the line, and we'll try and judge it so
now,
the
Craig,
rest of the
he's
field...
not alone here. Look at this. Mark Noski's off to the infield as well.
Gee, problems for Noski. What a shocker that is. And this was a race he really needed to keep his championship points alive by staying with Jimmy Richards.
We heard him talking with Craig there a moment ago, or Grant, I should say. Now, off the line, Jimmy has done well, but what a start from Peter Bradbury as we head towards turn 1 for the first time. The TNT Porsche.
And this is Peter Fitzgerald starting from pit lane as we thought, and problems for Mark Noski. The gearbox has blown in the car, so he's actually out of the race. What a shame.
Yeah, you can see Fitzy there wasn't changing gears, so absolutely good call there, Craig. First and second's obviously gone.
Tony, in a situation like that, what does a driver do? I mean, is it just a case of just nurse it around and get as many points as you can?
Mate, you just absolutely hate it. You can see everyone pulling away, and I suppose this car is only using third on the slow corners, so he'll be able to work his way through as long as he doesn't have a moment and got to start off from scratch.
So
a bit difficult there. You know, you'd want to pull second gear there. I think you can hear the engine labouring a little bit, but now he's away and racing.
Out after Mike Downard in his brand new Porsche 911 GT3. We believe Noski has suffered gearbox dramas. Let's go to the pits to the team manager of Prancing Horse Racing and find out what's happened.
Mark just got on the radio when he drove away for the sighting lap, and it just went bang, and there's no drive.
So Peter Fitzgerald at the Pocket Tyres Porsche has got to do it all from the back. Germany well and truly on top of the points table from Italy. The last round at Queensland, a race win to Ferrari, one to Lamborghini, but the Porsche of Jimmy Richards certainly the most consistent this weekend.
Well, Tony, you just had your last race in the V8 Supercar a short time ago, but the sun is really setting here. How difficult is it making it for the drivers? There's Bradbury.
No, it makes quite a bit of difference coming off the bridge and over the dogleg. We always put a strip of tape above the windscreen, and that helps your vision a bit.
Nice old serve from Paul Stokel there on Peter Bradbury.
No mucking around at all, was there? You can see now Williamson coming back under the clutches of...
Oh, geez, that's a dangerous part. The circuit, you're going so quick through that corner. You know, that's in those cars probably 200 plus, 220.
As I was saying before, Christian Jones really throwing out a challenge to Mark Williamson in the Team Davnet Porsche.
So Ferrari looked good across the top then, just beautiful and smooth, the shocks. The car's obviously set up very, very well.
He actually changed the springs before racing it after qualifying just to soften the rear of the car, so it wasn't quite as stiff across the top of the dogleg there, and it's actually improved the car dramatically.
Christian's done a good job since he's come on board with his team. Tom Warwick has gotten right behind in terms of supporting another young Australian driver. Did it with Cameron McConville, who won the championship, don't forget, in 1996 with the Warwick Fabrics Porsche. And now back supporting Christian Jones.
No, he's a wonderful mentor. That's so good for the sport, and you can only compliment him enough.
So Peter Fitzgerald from Melbourne's got Jeff Morgan's Viper just ahead of him. Late afternoon sun here at Oran Park. There's Fitzgerald battling without first and second gear in this sensational Falcon Tyres GT3 Porsche.
That's a good shot. You can see Fitzy's got some tape across the screen, but even then the sun was shining in his eyes.
You can see the flash of flame out of both exhaust pipes on either side of the Dodge Viper 2 when he backs off the throttle. Paul Stokel, who right now is in second place in the Lamborghini Diablo.
Second place and third in the championship too on 71 points, so needs to finish well this weekend.
Saw Fitzy do it in race 1, he's done it again in race 2. He likes that corner, doesn't he?
Yeah, he sure does. He's got that set up well. You can see the Viper coming across the top, then moving around at the back. I don't know whether it's from the suspension or the tyres, but the Viper certainly would be a handful on this track.
Now, under siege, Williamson, a pair of Ferraris. He's the Porsche in the Ferrari sandwich here. Park trying to get through the pull right Ferrari.
Oh, a touch between the two. Williamson in the Davnet car. Park now will try and make a run down the outside. Side by side under the Yokohama Bridge, but I think Williamson's got him.
Williamson hanging on to it. He knows Oran Park so well, Mark Williamson, an advanced driving instructor who has done a lot of miles around Oran Park Raceway. Let me tell you now, Park throwing out a challenge to him.
And Fitzgerald has joined them as well. Steve Webb just behind these three in his Porsche GT3. So Fitzgerald's done well to come through and be on the tail of Park. Of course, it was the pole man for race 1 today, spun while he was chasing Jimmy Richards.
I don't know if Fitzy's done that. He really got the bit between his teeth. He's done a great job, because he was a long way back. He must have been down 10 or 15 seconds on that one.
So trying to claw his way back through the field. Williamson, Park, Fitzgerald, Webb, then Jeff Morgan in the Dodge Viper.
It's a riveting battle as it continues. You can see Fitzgerald there popping the left wheel up across the curve as they came across the dogleg. Now they swing left out of Autotech corner onto VB straight here at Oran Park. Who's got the greater horsepower? Williamson in your foreground in the yellow Porsche. The meat in the sandwich is Wayne Park in the full right Ferrari. You ride with Peter Fitzgerald. Look down the inside. Can Park do it? Oh, sideways. He's gotten through there, though. Park has barged through.
Yes, and forced Williamson to back off, let him have the corner. It's also allowed Fitzgerald to close up on the back of Williamson. Quite an enthralling battle, this one. You see the difference between the Porsches. Porsche's got good low down horsepower, revs to about 7,200. Fitzy hits the horn again.
He's done that just about every corner in this race, hasn't he?
A great example of road rage, eh?
From Rose Bay on a Sunday morning.
And the Ferrari developing its power up to about 8,500 RPM. So you can see the Porsche come onto the straight quickly, and then the Ferrari winds out as you get further down the straight.
This is on an earnest here between these two guys. Look at this.
Yeah.
Oh. Sideways.
Fitzy was actually tapping him off the bridge. He's keen to get through there. He'd really rattled him now.
Mark Williamson had a win at the Queensland, the Canberra round of this year's GDP Nations Cup. So did Peter Fitzgerald. Williamson's found a fair bit of form as we head towards the mid-part of this year's championship.
Fitzy tucked out on the outside, then he'll get a better run coming onto the straight and a better toe. So it looks like the cars are even, but he would have carried 1 or 2 Ks onto the straight. And he's still even being pulled out like that. You get a bit of a vortex, so you do get dragged along.
Williamson forcing Fitzgerald to do it the hard way. As Craig mentioned, Williamson has really started to come on strong in this championship. The Davnet Porsches arrived, I guess, a little late in terms of preparation. They arrived, in fact, the first of them just before the Phillip Island round. They spent a lot of the season coming to grips with it. Listen to Fitzy on the horn again.
So Williamson, good run out of the corner, pulls away from the Falcon Tyres Porsche that time around, but Fitzy's got the lights on and the eyes on. There's Morgan in the Viper, running extractors for the first time.
Fitzy's got him this time, and it's going to end up in tears.
Oh! Fitzy's gone! They've both gone. I think you'll find Williamson has just hung onto it. Despite all that rubbish and dirt off to the left-hand side of the track there, Williamson has just hung onto it. The big loser was Fitzy.
Well,
two into one, don't go.
Brilliant drive for Peter Fitzgerald and the Falcon Tyres Porsche from the back of the field. Oh, problems for the Lamborghini too.
He's got a flat right rear, or something's wrong with the right rear tyre.
It's hard to pick up, Tony. What the problem is, it's going. It's almost like he's lost momentum. He's broken something. Let's have a look at the Pennzoil action replay. Call it for us, Tony.
No, I just hate that. Like my heart's in my mouth. Fitzy's done a bit of damage to the front, but they come off the bridge together and they've just touched, and that's it.
Now Christian Jones trying to force Bradbury into some sort of error. He barges through. Young Christian Jones side by side underneath the bridge. Who's going to give here? Jones trying to move over on him, and he gets it. Jones gets it.
Well done, Christian Jones. Peter Bradbury, we'll come back at him. Jones has...
Oh, what a great move, hey?
Jones has run wide.
Must have missed a gear change or something there.
Which would be quite hard to do in the semi-automatic gearbox that they have in these cars.
They just seemed to miss beat then for a second. I don't know what went wrong.
Little Lotus 200R of Peter Landon's in there for the first time, coming under the Yokohama Bridge. Little 1.8-litre 4-cylinder up against the rest of the monsters in this field.
Gee, there's some monsters too, aren't there? The Porsches here, Downard.
I know what there is. There's plenty of aggression in this race. I think these guys are watching too many of our races. It's all getting too hard out there.
Peter Harburg in the Cheers Tavern GT3.
Something's going wrong with that car, Craig.
Got coolant or stuff over the rear tyres by the look of it.
Well, you can't speak highly enough of the performance of Jim Richards this weekend against the might of Ferrari and the awesome Lamborghini. The Porsche has shone through. The Cat OAMS team will take 2 starts, 2 wins. Jim Richards is king at Oran Park. He wins the round, a convincing victory too. Second place goes to Bradbury. Third to young Christian Jones, and there's Wayne Park recovering for 4th place. But what an effort from this man, Jim Richards.
Tremendous driver, Jimmy Richards. He won the championship here at Oran Park last year. The battle not over between Williamson and Fitzgerald. It is now. But Jimmy Richards acknowledging the cheers from the crowd in an absolute blitzkrieg performance this weekend.
Check out the Maguire's scoreboard. There he is, Jim Richards on top from Bradbury. A sensational effort from the reigning Porsche Cup champion. Jones in third. That's a good effort from him as well. Wayne Park and Webb, fourth and fifth. And it's Morgan, Mark Williamson and Peter Fitzgerald recovers for eighth position. Stay with us here on Trackside. We will come back to wrap up all the hot action here from Oran Park right after this.